Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse stand out as more than animated superhero films. They redefine the genre with unique creativity and heartfelt execution. Unlike many Marvel films, these movies carve out their own space by showcasing incredible artistry and storytelling that genuinely reflects the energy and culture of Brooklyn and New York. They immerse viewers in a world that feels alive, full of vibrancy, and deeply connected to the urban spirit. The second film amplifies this connection with a powerful soundtrack, directed in part by Metro Boomin, that resonates with the pulse of hip-hop and the city itself. The music captures the essence of New York, evoking memories of cold nights where the rhythm of hip-hop beats through the streets, symbolizing the lifeblood of the community. These films do more than entertain. They showcase what happens when vision, passion, and authenticity come together to create something that speaks to a generation. Even within the framework of a mainstream production, they prove that art, music, and storytelling can combine in a way that truly inspires and connects with audiences. This is a warning. This video will discuss key elements of the plot, including important developments and the ending, so please be aware that spoilers are ahead. I believe these films will be remembered as a time capsule for the generation they represent. Much like House Party with Kid and Play captured the vibrant party culture of the late 80s and early 90s. Superbad explored teenagers navigating a time in life when priorities shift as you grow older. Project X celebrated the rise of electronic music, party lifestyle, and their vices. Fast Times at Ridgemont High depicted the daily life of a teen in the 80s, and Dazed and Confused portrayed the cliques of the 70s, showing how one grows into different social groups while integrating with substance use, peer pressure, and the need for acceptance. Each of these films stands as a marker of its time, and I have no doubt that these Spider-Man movies will be celebrated for their artistic impact and cultural significance in the same way. As a Filipino-American, I only knew life in the Philippines, which was something on its own. I had nothing to compare it to. At 21, I moved to New York in 2018 with almost no money to start a new life. I began my journey in a tiny apartment in Harlem, then moved to Bed-Stuy, and eventually settled in Bushwick. Each neighborhood had its own distinct vibe, shaping my experience of the city. One of the most incredible things about living in Bed-Stuy was how connected it was to rap music. I'd be on my phone in my apartment, see that someone had released a new song, and as soon as I stepped outside, you could hear it playing in cars and apartments. It felt like being part of a living, breathing music scene, where the pulse of the city was alive with sound. That sense of being in a cultural hub, so deeply tied to the music, was electric. After that, I moved to Bushwick, which had yet another unique vibe. Despite being right next to Bed-Stuy, it felt different, with a blend of cultures, especially a vibrant Latin American influence that I loved. Those years spent living in Brooklyn were formative for me. I had nights where I found myself alone, wandering the streets, biking at 3 a.m., dealing with insomnia while listening to music and soaking in the diverse lives around me. Living in a city like New York means being surrounded by people everywhere you go. You can't help but witness various facets of life, different perspectives, and unique stories. The soundtrack of the second movie really captures that essence of Brooklyn, especially during those cold nights on the train at 3 a.m. It's amazing how well they nailed the feeling of the city, which often gets understated or overlooked. As someone who came to New York from the outside, leaving in 2021 to return to the Philippines, those movies transport me back to the corners I used to hang out in Bed-Stuy, waiting for the J train late at night. They did such an incredible job capturing the raw spirit of the city. I wish everyone could experience that connection between the film's soundtrack and their own time in New York. This isn't just about the upscale rooftop bars of Manhattan or the trendy hotels of the Lower East Side. It's about the real lives of people in Brooklyn. The films encapsulate the essence of youth that exists there, portraying the daily experiences that shape our culture today. The artists featured in the soundtrack are relevant to the current landscape, mirroring what people are actually listening to. I don't think people realize the intention behind the soundtrack. There's a massive amount of thought put into it, and it truly reflects the diverse, vibrant community that makes up the city. The animation style of both movies is revolutionary, immersing viewers in a vibrant, comic book aesthetic. Sony Pictures Imageworks brought this vision to life with a team of 177 animators, aiming to make each frame feel like a hand-drawn comic panel. In the first film, The combination of CGI and traditional comic techniques like line work, halftones, and Ben-Day dots created a living painting. The use of motion smearing rather than standard motion blur added a unique texture that enhanced the urban experience. A notable scene showcases Miles and Peter Parker swinging through the forest, with their contrasting animation styles reflecting their character development. Miles is animated with a jittery, less fluid style that highlights his inexperience and struggle to master his powers. In contrast, Peter's movements are smooth and confident, showcasing his proficiency as Spider-Man. This dynamic not only illustrates their mentor-mentee relationship, but also emphasizes Miles' journey from uncertainty to confidence. In Across the Spider-Verse, one of the standout visual elements is the impressionistic watercolor style used for Earth-65, home to Gwen Stacy. This unique approach allows the environment to reflect her emotional state, acting like a three-dimensional mood ring. The soft, flowing colors and dynamic brushstrokes create a dreamy quality that mirrors Gwen's feelings, especially during her more vulnerable moments. This artistic choice not only enhances her character, but also immerses the audience in her experience, making her struggles and triumphs feel intensely personal and relatable. The integration of color and movement in her universe is a powerful visual storytelling tool, distinguishing her narrative within the broader Spider-Verse. The visuals throughout both films encapsulate the essence of New York's streets and architecture, drawing viewers into the rich vibrancy of urban life. With artists like Post Malone, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and Juice WRLD, the music bursts with energy, reflecting the hopes and struggles of a generation. Each song fits perfectly into the story of a young hero finding his identity amidst the chaos of city life. Sunflower, featuring Post Malone and Sway Lee, beautifully encapsulates the vibrant life of spring in the New York streets. It evokes those perfect moments of walking with someone special, bathed in sunlight, where everything feels possible. The warmth and love expressed in this song make the city come alive with promise and joy. In the second movie, Metro Boomin produced the soundtrack, elevating the music to new heights. The tracks perfectly capture the spirit of the youth, resonating with the emotions and energy of a generation. Self-Love, featuring Coi Leray, expresses a simple yet profound moment in life when we're all figuring things out at a young age, with so much ahead of us and the pressure weighing down. It's a reminder of the journey to self-acceptance amidst the chaos. Hummingbird, featuring James Blake, is another standout track. Its gentle melody captures the essence of young love, with pink skies and a nirvana of emotions taking over life. This song conveys that euphoric feeling of being young and in love, transporting listeners to a place of joy and innocence. Silk and Cologne, featuring 8 and Offset, brings in the reggaeton sounds of Bushwick, creating a dance anthem that gets you hyped for Friday night. It's a song that celebrates culture and excitement, perfectly mirroring the nightlife and energy of the neighborhood. On the other hand, Nonviolent Communication, featuring James Blake, A$AP Rocky, and 21 Savage, offers a more somber reflection. This beautiful song captures the feeling of downtime in a big but lonely city where isolation can seep in. It's a reminder that even amidst the hustle and bustle, moments of solitude and introspection are part of the urban experience. Overall, the soundtracks of both films do more than set the tone. They create an emotional connection between the characters and the audience. These tracks resonate deeply, capturing the essence of youth, culture, and community. Through its captivating beats and meaningful lyrics, the music serves as a powerful reminder of how hip-hop reflects the pulse of New York City and shapes our memories and emotions, anchoring us in the rich tapestry of life in this vibrant city. But there's one aspect of the second movie that leaves us feeling unsettled: the ending. While we all loved the journey the film took us on, the cliffhanger hit hard, leaving us in a suspenseful limbo that felt both thrilling and frustrating. The climax occurs when Miles realizes he's trapped in the wrong universe, facing a dark alternate version of himself as the Prowler. Just as he attempts to escape and return home, he finds himself captured by this universe's version of himself where his father is dead. Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy is assembling a team of spider people to rescue him, but before they can act, the film abruptly cuts to black. This unresolved ending feels like watching a show, but it isn't a show. It's a movie, and movies aren't shows. The build-up to this pivotal moment felt promising, and many of us were left with a sense of unfulfillment when the screen faded out just as the action was about to ramp up. It's as if the most crucial part of the story was taken away, setting up Beyond the Spider-Verse as the continuation we're all waiting for. When we walked out of the theater, we were buzzing from the action and creativity. But there was also a nagging sense of longing. We wanted to know what happens next in Miles's journey, how he would confront this dark reality, and what the future held for him. It's a testament to how captivating the film is. It draws us in so completely that we can't help but crave more. We can only hope that when the next chapter arrives, it provides the satisfying conclusion we've all been waiting for. Both Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse serve as a beautiful cultural love letter to New York and Brooklyn. They capture the radiant essence of the city, celebrating its rich diversity, history, and the unique spirit of its neighborhoods. Through a seamless blending of art, music, and storytelling, these films create a vivid portrait of urban life that resonates with anyone who has experienced the pulse of the city. What stands out is that this isn't just another cookie-cutter, brain-numbing Marvel movie. This feels real. The animation and soundtracks come together to capture the essence of being in the heart of New York. Every frame and note reflects the energy, sounds, and people that define the city, from the bustling streets of Brooklyn to the quiet corners where moments of reflection unfold. These films take us back to the familiar experiences that shape our memories.